Welcome to Ask Dr. Love. Ask Dr. Love is the show where you get to ask questions about acupuncture, Asian medicine, herbal medicine, nutrition, and your health. So if love is the answer, what is your question? So today is going to be a fascinating show. Today's show is about how Chinese medicine works. So Chinese medicine is based on the circulation of oxygenated blood that we call qi. And when you do qigong exercises, you electromagnetically charge the qi, so the oxygenated blood can be stored for use later on. Now, episode 26, we had Dr. Ma'at on, who's an expert in hyperthermia. So we were talking about thermal therapy, hydrotherapy, and cold therapy. Well, Dr. Ma'at is an expert on hyperthermia. That means making the body really, really hot. Now, energy is measured in terms of heat. So if your car is running and you put your hands on the hood, you feel the heat from the engine. That's how come you know your car is running. And if the car is cold, that means energy's not running. So energy is measured in terms of heat. So before we got started, he took my blood pressure. You will not believe what my blood pressure was. Do you remember what it was? No. It was 111/70. That was my blood pressure. I haven't had my blood pressure tested in 3 years. 111/70. That's pretty low.
Excellent.
And of course, I'm athletic and I do Qigong, but that's still low. Do you know what your blood pressure was? Okay, we're going to test yours today. So, we started the heat therapy. So normal temperature is 98.6. He took my temperature up to 102.8. So 98 to 102.8. So that's 7 degrees in temperature. And that heat killed bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites. So the bacteria, virus, parasites, and fungus cannot live in an excessively hot environment. So under normal circumstances, you create your own fever when you're attacked by an infection. You create your own fever. So fevers are not something to be feared. They're actually self-regulating mechanisms that's part of your immune system. And that's why I'm here, to help you understand how your immune system works. So when he got me up to 102, he retested my blood pressure. And guess what it was? 104/65. My blood pressure dropped even lower. My heart rate went from 68 to 62 in that same time period where my temperature went up. So my heart rate slowed, my blood pressure went down. Now, what if your blood pressure was 150/100? Taking thermal therapy, hyperthermia, might be a good idea for you. Okay? But the $1,000,000 question is, how much does that thing cost, and what do I have to do for hyperthermia? What if I don't like the heat? What else can I do? And that brings us to the topic of today's show. What is the best way to increase blood circulation? Because that's how we measure health. So, any questions that you might have before I go in, diving deep to tell you how to increase blood circulation? If you have a question, go in the comments and type in your question on IG, Facebook, or YouTube. And that way we can find out how I can best serve you and increase your knowledge base. Ask Dr. Love is heard every day on Spotify, iTunes, Radio Play. And you can listen to archive shows on any podcast platform that you're already familiar with. So let's get on with the questions. So, what is the best way to stimulate your blood? Well, every drop of blood goes through your ear every hour. So all of your blood goes through your ears. And the blood is closest to the surface of the skin in your ear. So if you want to touch your blood or stimulate your blood, the best way to do it is through your ear. Now, the lobe of the ear represents the head and the face. The cave of the ear represents the heart and the lungs. The Simba cave is the abdominal cavity. So your stomach, your spleen, your liver, your kidneys, your small and large intestines are all right in there. And then the pelvic cavity is the triangular fossa, and that has all your internal sex organs. So your uterus and your ovaries and your testicles. And then here is your fingers, your hands, your arm. And then here is your neck, shoulders, spine, low back, leg, knees, and feet. So this is reflexology of the ear. The ear is a reflex for every part of the body. So by massaging your ears, you can increase blood circulation. Now, I have videos on how to massage your ears. So I don't want to go into too great a detail, but I'm just going to give you 4 little tidbits, and then you can go find that. Now, I've also written a book on ear reflexology, and I have ear acumagnets. And so I teach a course on how to utilize the magnets. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is to pull the lobe down and away from your face. Where the lobe attaches to the face is called the relaxation point. And if you went to Catholic school, the nuns probably grabbed your ear and pulled you like this. And whatever acting out you were doing, whatever stuff you were into in class, that really calmed you down. So since the lobe represents the face, if you pull your own lobe 30 times down and away from the face, you will actually create relaxation. Of course, it's better if you do both at the same time. So that's about 30 seconds. Now, there's a cave. There's a little hollow there. The heart and the lung point are in there. So if you stick your finger in and you do 30 circles forward, of course, ladies, if you have fingernails, you might have to do it with the flat of your ear as opposed to perpendicular, because it doesn't feel good when that fingernail. Right, Katniss? Okay. So we do 30 circles forward to stimulate the heart and the lungs. Now there's a little lip right there, and if you go into the next cavity and you go back and forth 30 times, you get the stomach, the spleen, the liver, the gallbladder, the small intestines, the large intestines, and the kidneys. All right there in your ear. So this is a daily self-maintenance program. And there's another little lip and there's another little hollow called the triangular fossa. And you can do 30 circles for your sex organs. Now, I was in church with my cousin and her daughter was having menstrual cramps. Now, I knew that because her mom leaked it to me. But my 14-year-old niece was not happy and she was squirming in her seat and her mother was like, "Stop squirming, stop moving." And I stuck my thumbnail right into that point of the pelvis and I pressed and held it and she's like, Uncle George, why are you doing that to me?" Oh my God, my cramps went away. 60 seconds, that's all it took. So I'm here to tell you this stuff really, really works. So if you want a chart, if you want the complete video on how to massage your ears, if you want written instructions, if you want the magnets that I've talked about for weight loss and stop smoking, you can just put it in the comments section. I want to order. There'll be a link which you can actually click that'll take you to the Love Chinese Medicine store where you can order all that stuff. But if you don't want to spend any money at all, just learn how to massage your ears. And you can go to 21daystowellness.com, join the tribe, or on your phone, you can text 81010 Blue Dragon Tribe. No? Ask Dr. Love. Ask Dr. Love to 81010 and you'll be added to the tribe where you'll get the information on the ear magnets, the ear chart, the ear book, and how to massage your ears, which is something I do every morning. It takes less than 3 minutes. Every morning before I go to get out of bed, I massage my own ears. So that's the best way to stimulate blood circulation is through the ear. The second best way is to massage your face. Why your face? Because that's where your brain is. And we want the blood, okay, massaging the face, and the reverse aging facial, because that's where the blood is in the brain. Now, what are the 6 senses? I know you're thinking 5, but you already know it's 6. So I'm going to tell you: the nose, the eyes, intuition, the ear, taste, and then touch. Okay? Nose, eyes, thought. That's 3. Hearing, taste, touch. That's 6. So there are 6 senses. So in the reverse aging facial, I teach you a 8-minute massage of your entire face. And that's going to include your limbic system. It's going to include cerebrospinal fluid. It's going to include lymphatic fluid. And it's also going to include stimulating your endocrine glands. So I've got a 15-minute video on it, which will be in the archives of lovechigong.com. So if you want to see any of these videos that I've already done, you've got to join lovechigong.com. You'll get a notice of how to get into the archives. And then these videos will be made available for the members of the Boost Your Immune System Qigong course. Now, the next thing is massaging the body with acupressure. Now, this is fascinating because we do a dance in Qigong class and we say, pat up your arms, pat down your arms, pat up your arms, pat down your arms, and pat your legs. So there's something we call PIDA. PIDA is patting. And patting, every time you pat, you literally draw the blood to the surface of the skin. And you also send a message to grow bone marrow. So we can do lightly, we can do heavy, and then we can do really heavy. Okay, you got to work up to that. But I teach you how to pat every part of your body to increase blood circulation and to build bone marrow. Now that's fascinating. But the thing that you don't know is that once you become a member of lovechigong.com, then I teach you how to do it through your fingers. I teach you literally how to move energy through the interstitial fluid. Now, March of 2019, they discovered a brand new organ called the interstitium. I want you to Google that. interstitium. Interstitium. Tium. The interstitium is the fluid that lubricates your entire body. So we've got blood, we got tears, we got saliva, we have cerebrospinal fluid, we've got lymphatic fluid, and the rest of it, your body is 71% water, and the rest of it is interstitial fluid. And the interstitial fluid is underneath the skin, but it's on top of the fascia. So, these scientists just discovered that the interstitial fluid directs the connective tissue and the fascia. And they've been doing surgeries since 1888. They've been with microscopes, and I'm sorry, you expect me to trust you after all these years, 120 something years, 140 years? You've been out here and you just discovered there's a brand new organ that's controlled by the interstitial fluid? Well, in Qigong, we've been doing this for years, for centuries. So what we do is we create friction, which generates heat. And then we put that heat on the skin, and then very slowly we move that up the arm, and we go all the way up the back of the neck, across the jawline, down the front of the neck, and down the inside of the arm. Now, of course, I'm wearing clothes. You have to be semi-nude from the waist up because you're going to do this in your bedroom. And so this technique increases the interstitial fluid, triggering the endocrine glands, which trigger the blood flow. There's a lot of triggers there, okay? Now, if you did deep pressure with your arm, you could literally squeeze the blood, but you can do it with the very lightest of touch. And again, this is not for everybody. This is only for those people who really want to dive deep into the medical Qigong. And the only way to get this is to join lovechigong.com, and you'll have access to these videos. And if that's not enough, put in the comments section, I want to take a course to learn how to do this, because we're making up our course curriculum for both online and in person as we speak. As this quarantine slowly grinds to a halt, we'll be able to actually face-to-face, and I'll be able to show you in person how we do what we do to increase your blood flow, because that is the single most important thing for determining your health. Now, why am I so adamant about that? Well, if you sit with your legs crossed and you sit like this, what are you doing to the blood flow to your abdomen and your groin?
You're cutting it off.
You're cutting off the blood flow. And after 5, 10, 15 years of doing that, guess what happens? No blood circulation to the leg. No blood circulation to the reproductive system. No blood circulation to the digestive system. Wow. And what if you stand on one leg and you throw your hips out? Or you're wearing high heels and you feel like you're tipping forward, so you have to pull yourself back. What happens is you create a glitch in your spine at L4, L5. And 80% of all back problems are at L4, L5. Your structure determines your function. And if your posture is whack, your structure is whack, which means over time, you're whacking out your function. And blood circulation is the origin of all of that. So your posture standing, your posture sitting, your posture driving, your posture eating, all of that affects your blood circulation. Your lack of exercise affects your blood circulation. 90% of the blood from the lower half of the body has to get back to the heart through muscular contraction of the calf muscles. So if you don't use your calves, the blood pools and you get varicose veins, you get spider veins, you get these big ugly blue ropey veins on the inside of your leg and the back of your leg. And then you don't want to take your pants off, you don't want to wear shorts, you don't want to go to the beach because you created the plaque that caused those ugly veins in your legs. So everybody comes to me and says, how can I get rid of the spider veins? How can I get rid of the varicose veins? Okay, I can help you do that, but wouldn't it be better to prevent it than to treat it? I mean, we could use ozone injections. We can use saline injections. We can do acupuncture around a varicosity. That'll drive it deeper. That'll make you not see it. But that doesn't mean it's going to go away. The only way to do that is to clean your blood and to circulate it. Okay, we got a question.
Yes. Robert Eldemeyer wants to know, can you please explain a little bit about dry washing in the morning?
I'm so glad you asked me that question. So dry washing is part of medical Qigong. And the thing that I just showed you, that's dry washing. You know it as skin brushing. So we have little tiny brushes with soft bristles, and you can literally brush your own skin. Now, the back of the arm goes up, the inside of the arm goes down. On the leg, it's the reverse. The outside goes down, the inside goes up. So you can do dry wash with your hands by washing, like I was saying before about squeezing the blood up. That's called dry wash. And there's a whole sequence that I teach as part of the class, but you've got to go to Love Qigong in order to register, and then you get access to that video. Or you might have heard of dry skin brushing with the brush. And again, it's not real complicated, but it's not intuitive either. So you may want to learn how to do both, the dry wash and the dry skin brushing, which is specifically for the lymphatic system. Now, interesting enough, they just discovered that the lymph system goes into the brain. They just discovered this January 2017. They have to rewrite the medical textbooks. It hasn't even filtered down to regular doctors yet, that your immune system doesn't end at the jawline. It literally goes into the brain. And the way they discovered this is they were in the meninges, which is the lining of the brain, and they discovered ILC2 lymphocyte. I want you to Google that one as well. The capital letters, ILC2 lymphocyte, because they only discovered those things in the gut and in the skin, which literally turns on the immune system. So now they've discovered that your brain can turn on the immune system when it's happy. And when you're unhappy, I can't go to work. I can't go outside. I can't breathe. I can't. I'm limited. I'm prevented. Does that make you feel good about yourself?
No.
Absolutely not. So you're literally shutting off your immune system. How's the best way to boost your immune system? Go outside, swing your arms, jump up and down and dance. So every morning I teach people how to dance. LoveQigong.com. I teach you how to dance. And every Friday is Freebie Friday. And you can go to Boost Your Immune System online course on Facebook. And you can watch the class. And then you can decide if you want to register. Because I'm not here to convince you that what I'm saying is right. Whatever I say, I want you to verify it. I want you to go on Google, double check everything I say, do a 2-week experiment with what I say, and then if it makes sense, then you should continue it. But if you're not feeling it and it doesn't feel right for you, throw it away. I don't claim to be right. I just want you to be happy.
We have another question, Dr. Love. Sugar PB from YouTube wants to know, what do you do for fatigue and lethargic low energy?
You're talking to the right person. We can dispel fatigue, lethargy, and low energy by doing Qigong in the morning. They've discovered that if you do morning exercise for 30 minutes, that 8 hours later, there's a peak burst of energy. So if you do Qigong at 7 a.m., 8 hours later, 3 in the afternoon, you get a burst of energy. Okay, now if you do that every day for 3 days, wow. If you do that every day for 3 weeks, super wow. If you do that every day for 3 months, you're going to be zooped. Okay, and I've been doing it since 1983. Okay, you do the math, that's 38 years, I think. But whatever it is, you've got to do it for you. I can't do the Qigong for you. I can explain to you the benefits, but you have got to do it yourself. So the one exercise I can share with, what's his name, Sugar PB?
Mm-hmm.
Sugar P? Okay, so I don't know if you can see my hands. I can't see myself in the camera. But if you just do this, palm up, palm down, palm up, palm down, and swinging your arms, you're breaking up stagnation in your shoulders. So you've heard the expression uptight. So when your shoulders are uptight, you restrict blood flow to the brain. So palm up, palm down. If you just do that, you're going to pump blood up. The second thing is chin up, chin down, chin up, chin down. And if you do them together, palm up, chin down, palm down, chin up. Now you're pumping up cerebrospinal fluid and lymphatic fluid into the brain. And now if we add the feet in, if you go up on your toes and rock back on your heels, up on your toes, rock back on your heels, then you're pumping the lymphatic system and the blood from the calves. I call it the calf rock. So all three parts of that are done simultaneously. So you're doing the calf rock, you're up on your toes as your palm are up and your chin is down, and then bend the knees, the hands come down, and then the chin goes up. So if you can string those three parts together, it's called the limp swing. You can go on YouTube, Dr. Love Lymph Swing. You'll see half a dozen videos of me teaching it fast, teaching it slow, breaking it down into detail, doing it with music. It is the first exercise that I teach in Qigong. Okay? It's the first exercise I teach. So I don't mind sharing that with you to dispel your lethargy and low energy. Now, I must tell you, you have to do it for 2.5 minutes every 2 hours for 2 days. And then I want you to come back and comment on how you feel. Every 2 hours, 2.5 minutes every 2 hours for 2 days. Thank you.
Okay. I have another question coming in from Amens_lifestyle from IG. How can I heal my mom from her thyroid without surgery? What can I do for my mom? She complains of no energy. How can I get rid of her thyroid? How do you even get a thyroid?
Okay, first of all, there's nothing you can do for your mom. Your mom has to do it for herself. You cannot save another person. You cannot rescue another person. You cannot heal another person. I cannot heal another person. All I can do is create the environment and the information for her to heal herself. Now, your thyroid regulates your metabolism and your temperature. There's a muscle in the side of the neck called the sternocleidomastoid muscle. The thyroid is underneath that muscle. So I don't know how long you've been following me, but I say this for years. Go pluck yourself. When your energy level is low, pluck your SCM, because that's going to benefit your thyroid. Now, your mom either has hyperthyroid or hypothyroid. And I have the herbs, I've got the Chinese herbs for both of those conditions. So your mom would have to call me, we'd have to set up an appointment, and I'd have to send her a questionnaire, and then I could be able to determine whether she needs the hyper or the hypo. Now, correspondingly, she's going to have to change her diet, and that's something you can help her with. And secondarily, she's going to have to start moving like African dance or Qigong, and that's something else you can help her with. But she's got to call and make the appointment and do the questionnaire, and then I can help your mom, and I can help you help your mom.
Okay, so a question just to help the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Can people of all ages do Qigong?
You can do Qigong at 118. You can do Qigong at 4.5. So that pretty much covers everybody. Doesn't matter how old, how young. Age 4.5 to 118, you can do Qigong. I was 33 years old, and I always liked roller skating as a kid. I went to a roller rink, and there was this guy who was clearly 30 years older than anybody else in the roller rink, and he skated really slow, and he had well-defined leg muscles and well-defined arm muscles, and everybody else is skating like this, and this guy is just taking it easy. And I'm fascinated by this guy. So I go up to him and I strike up a conversation. Turns out he's a college professor, and he said 25 years ago he decided he was going to choose something that he could do when he was 60 and 70. And he chose roller skating. He said weightlifting tore up my shoulders, tore up my elbow. So I shifted from weightlifting to slow roller skating. And that stuck with me because I had just graduated from acupuncture school, but I hadn't met my Qigong master yet. And when he said he could do Qigong for 12 hours a day, after being beaten and tortured every day for 8 years, and that doing the Qigong is what helped him recover, I said, that's my guy. That's the guy I want to teach me. Because if you can get rid of the pain and the suffering of being beaten and tortured for teaching Qigong, they had made it illegal to teach Qigong, and he was insistent on teaching it. And that's why he was being tortured. So it's that level of courage and dedication that I aspired to.
No questions.
That's it. Okay. Marcus, you got a question.
Can I set up an appointment?
Well, my question is, for me, I struggle with paralysis of just sheer over-analysis between...
Paralysis of analysis.
Yeah. Between meditation, yoga. I'm a personal trainer, so I know like doing push-ups and squats are very important for men as we get older because they're testosterone boosting exercises. So for me, it's just getting a system of what to do, because everything is important. You have to meditate. You know, as I get older, you gotta do your push-ups still because the testosterone is getting lower. And then you have to do Qigong to open up everything. So I'm trying to figure out like what's the proper order. I know now that meditation is the first thing. Meditation is number one.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up with a program, and then you're going to come back in 2 weeks, and you're going to share with the audience what 2 weeks of following the program has done for you. Make your life a series of 2-week experiments, and then share it with us. Any information that I've given you that has changed your life, even in the smallest way, let us know in the comments section. And somebody wanted to make an appointment. Do I give out the phone number on the air, or should I just have them text me their phone number?
Just DM me on Instagram.
DM me on Instagram. DrQILOVE, Dr. Chi Love, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. That's the best way to reach me. And I'm here to help you.
We have another question.
Okay, we got another one.
This is from I am Lana Knight. Hello, what would be your top recommendations for chronic pain, specifically for someone who has extremely limited mobility?
Wow, that's a tough one. I'd have to meet you. You'd have to do a consultation. We'd have to do an online consult for me to make any kind of recommendation at all. If you have limited movement, what can I recommend without seeing you and see what your range of motion is? The movement reveals the restriction. Okay?
This can be done.
This absolutely can be done. Now, my Qigong master told me, if they cannot move, just have them watch me do it. Now, at the moment he said that, my brain went, he's crazier than I thought he was. How's watching somebody going to help them? But then after 6 months of watching him treat paraplegics, quadriplegics, people in comas, people paralyzed, watching him treat them, I realized they can get a benefit just from watching. So that's one way, is to just download the videos and just watch. But I think you really want a full consultation. So DM me from Instagram.
Okay, I have another question here. This one is from Michael Reed. What are the differences between common universal standing pose and the standing BDQ post on toes and hands overhead?
Wow, that's an excellent question. All right, so there's 3 standing poses. BDQ is Blue Dragon Qigong, in case you forgot. We abbreviate BDQ, BDQA, Blue Dragon Qigong Academy. All right, now the universally known standing pose and the Blue Dragon standing pose. Now, when you go up on your toes, you automatically engage all the muscles in the side of the leg and you force the knee in a particular posture. We want to go from kidney 1, Michael, all the way up to kidney 9, and then we want to connect with the back of the knee, and then we want to go into the groin and right next to the belly button, and we want to end at the top of the collarbone. So when you stand up and you go up on your toes, you literally force the chi from earth straight up here. Now, when you open the palm, so kidney heart 1 starts in the armpit, and then you open the elbow up, then you get heart 3, and then you get heart 7, 8, and then you literally push up. You're connecting the kidney to the heart. Now here's the issue. The heart is the hot water heater. I'm making an analogy. The water is the blood. The kidney is the pilot light. If the pilot light goes out, you only get cold water. So standing on the toes generates heat that warms the blood because there's a renal artery. So from the heart, there's an artery that goes to the kidney, and then there's another artery that comes out of the bottom of the kidney. So we've got a renal artery and we have a femoral artery. So when you stand on your toes, you literally force that chi right up. And that's why the Blue Dragon posture is different from the universally commonly accepted standing. The second posture is where the elbow is even with the shoulder, but then you've got a ball of chi that you're visualizing through your fingertips. So that's the second unique posture. And so you have to visualize that the fingertips are connecting. So that one is for the small intestines and the bladder, which is the first line of defense against penetration of the body by bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites, stimulated or caused by hot damp, wind cold, wind heat, any climateric conditions open up the pores of the skin so that you can be penetrated. So our standing is different from other standing because we're literally engaging the small intestine and the bladder. Now the third standing meditation is for the pericardium and the liver. And the liver's on the big toe. So when we stand and you press your knees in like in Wing Chun, and then we have the pericardium, which is just outside the nipple, goes down the center line, okay? And this was done low, and you're pressing down with the toes with your knees going in. You're literally connecting the pericardium, which is the store of blood, stores blood, and the pericardium, which protects the heart. And this is typically done for 30 minutes, sometime between 5 and 9 at night. This one is typically done for 30 minutes between 1 and 5 in the afternoon. And this one is typically done between 5 and 9 a.m. for 30 minutes. So you've got 30 minutes standing here, 30 minutes standing here, 30 minutes standing here. So you have 3 opportunities to do standing meditation depending upon a particular window of time. And that's what makes Blue Dragon Qigong unique compared to all other systems of Qigong. So I hope that answers your question, Michael.
Profound.
So, yeah, Zhan Zhuang, love it. No details. Not enough details. Blue Dragon, lots of details. So, time check, Mr. Producer.
1:45.
Okay.
We ran out of time.
So, thank you all for watching and listening and asking questions that allow me to shine my knowledge in your direction. Thank you all for supporting us by watching us every day. And remember, loveqigong.com. And if you want to go to the store and get the ear magnets or anything, the Qi cups or whatever, there'll be a link in the comments section which you can click on, which will take you to the store. So remember, your health is in your hands. Prevention is the only cure. And if you want to be well, you got to Qi well. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.